So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ask YP Now show. Now, this is a show focused on positive living, work-life balance, living with passion, success in your life and business, and most importantly, making the world a better place. And I have with us this morning, afternoon, and evening, a special guest all the way from the north of London. We've got Tepper here. Can you just spend about 2 to 3 minutes to introduce yourself to us?
Thank you so much, YP. It's great to be here. I love your energy. My name is Tepper. I am a conscious human trying to be authentic, just north of London in the UK. I grew up in the UK. I went to university in Canada and in Scotland. So I have seen different parts of the world. I'm very grateful for my travels and my experiences. And now I live just north of London with my family. My lovely partner, my son, my two dogs, and I guess I run a business or two as well along the way to sustain us. And we'll talk, I'm sure, more about all of that, later. And the last thing to say is I'm a massive American football fan, YP. So if anybody watching this is an American football fan, give us a shout out in the comments, and I'll tell you which team I love, unless you can guess over my shoulder.
So, ladies and gentlemen, whether you are listening, if you are listening into this live, okay, please type in all your questions into the comment section and we'll be able to answer them. And if you are listening to a recording of this, don't worry, type it into the comments, and, between Al and myself, we respond to all your questions. Good. So, Al, people are saying that it's really tough out there and businesses are suffering, in the UK, even here in Australia, in Asia. What are your thoughts? Is the economy so tough that business can no longer grow? What are your thoughts about it?
It's never too tough. Life finds a way in the most difficult of circumstances. And actually, the more difficult the circumstances, the more amazing life gets. There is the story of in the US, in the hottest place in the US. Once a year there is a flood, and the greenery, the vegetation grows in a desert. And so if plants can grow in a desert, then human life can exist under any circumstances. So right now is a really important time because we find out who we really are. We find out who really cares about us. So now is a very important time for everybody out there. Don't retreat. Don't focus on lack. Focus on how blessed you are, on who you can serve and how you can serve them, and do more, serve more, and love people more, and the universe will reward you 100%.
Okay, thanks. I really love that. As a saying go, whatever you get out of life is what you put into it, isn't it? And the fertilizer you add on, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. So I know you are a marketing legend, and normally the normal prevailing thought in the market is that when times are tough, you cut down on your marketing budget. Is that a good move? I know what the answer is.
It's definitely not a good move, and I know I would say that, but the reality is this. Let me do some maths for you. In a difficult environment, a lot of people will do less. Inevitably, in a difficult environment, in this climate, a lot of people in marketing, in business, in any sphere, will cut costs, cut corners, and do less. That means they will be less visible, and they will serve less people. Now, that means that the value, the currency of everything you do, of the people you serve, goes up because they are doing less. Because they are doing less, you doing the same get more. And actually, if people are doing less and you stay the same, that's great. But if people are doing less and you do more, you get even more. So my advice to anybody is do what I did during the pandemic. I tripled my content output to serve people more, and it blew up my business.
Wow.
So lots of people were quiet during the pandemic. I was even louder. So my advice to everybody, is be even more, do even more, serve even more. Absolutely.
So would you say that this is a good time to actually double, triple your effort into, I just wouldn't want to use the word marketing, but to go for outreach, to outreach into, different places, different markets.
Yeah, serve your audience more. That doesn't necessarily mean spend more. That doesn't necessarily mean cut more. The reality is the first question any business owner should ask themselves is, how can I serve my audience? You know, Gary Vaynerchuk, the very, very famous, much more famous than me. I will never be his fame. You know, he's amazing. But Gary Vaynerchuk said the best marketing strategy in the world is just 4 letters, C-A-R-E, care. So if the best marketing strategy in the world from one of the biggest and most celebrated marketers on the planet is care, then in a time of lack, you must bring care in abundance. So ask yourself, how can I care more for my customers? Not how can I make more money, because that doesn't matter. How can I care more? Whoever cares more wins. Simple.
Okay. Al, can you illustrate? You know, in your own business, you know, you said you triple the amount of content you put out. So how were you caring for your customers more in the last 2 to 2.5 years in the pandemic? Just have some examples.
So one of the first things I did was I increased my video output so I could communicate live via video. It wasn't live video, but me talking. So I communicated tons and tons and tons of free marketing advice to help people understand their messaging, to get clarity on their audience, their avatar, their ideal customer, to work out how to build marketing campaigns, how to build a story that their business could depend on, how to use LinkedIn. I ran a webinar on how to use LinkedIn if you've been made redundant because of COVID. I ran a webinar with an HR consultant to help people out of work find work through LinkedIn. No benefit to us other than service. You know, sometimes the best reward is the feeling of service, to be useful to others, to help others. And so a lot of the content was literally giving away as much knowledge as I could to help anybody, because I'm a nice, helpful guy. And in the COVID, you know, in the pandemic, a lot of people were in pain. Right now, a lot of people are in pain. So I just want to help more. It's not always easy because of a million reasons, but one must do what one can. You know, we're all very privileged. My father said to me that you don't build your life for yourself. You build your life to serve others, and along the way, you serve yourself as well. And it's very true. So you must tell everyone what they need to know. They're not gonna steal your secrets. They're not gonna do it without you. They're gonna love you more, not less. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely. You know, both of us came from the same organization called BNI, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, and I suppose the philosophy, you know, of givers gain, to give without thinking of what you're going to get in return, but you just give and you do what they call farming, you know,
yes,
and just, you know, nourishing the soil and so on, and the rewards will automatically come, you know.
Yes.
Can resonate definitely so much with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Giving is living. If you're not giving to other people, I don't think you are truly alive. It's not possible to live without giving. It's not possible to live, because we can't live this life on our own, and you can't run your business on your own. In fact, humans are naturally social animals. We can't do anything on our own. We depend on society, on each other all the time. And so giving, you know, if you're in a society and you're not giving, you will be outside of the society, and there is no life outside of that society. So just to exist as a functioning, happy human, you must give. And you know what, YP, on my worst days, we all have bad days, you know, and on my worst days, the first solution I jump to is, who can I help? Who can I give to?
Oh, wow.
Because on my worst day, when I'm feeling my lowest, when I'm depressed or unhappy, or something has gone wrong, or my son is unhappy, or whatever has pushed me into a dark place, the first solution is giving to others. Because when I give to others, I lift myself up, I feel better immediately. Because even though I'm in a bad place, I'm still caring for others. That's the nicest thing I can do. It makes me feel better. It lifts me out of the darkness into light immediately.
Right. Yeah. I think you are so right. You know, it's the nature of human beings, and it's the nature of the universe that we want to help people. Yeah. and nothing
Absolutely.
is more uplifting and enriches the soul. I'll use the words, when we're out there and see somebody's life change because of what we do, or the little action we
Absolutely.
do. Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay, so you were mentioning before that there are some myths out there, as the top 10 myth that is actually about marketing that's killing a lot of businesses out there. Maybe you want to
Yes.
share with us a few of the top myths about business. Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to. So there are, I have a workshop I deliver called the 10 marketing lies, the 10 marketing myths killing your business right now. And my top three, the first one is, if you build it, they will come. It's not
Ah,
true. If you build it, they will still not know about it until you tell them about it. And so
mm,
they won't come because they have no idea you exist.
mm,
Let alone what you do, why you're awesome, why they should listen to you, why they should work with you, whatever. And so building it is not enough. The best analogy here is when somebody builds a website. Typically, they build a website and then they think, great, the website is live, we will do business. Nobody knows about you,
mm,
because if you build a website and don't do any digital marketing, if you don't tell Google, if you don't
mm,
have any content that Google can index, if you don't do any email, any social, any paid spend, any organic growth, if you don't have a marketing strategy after the website goes live, who will know you have a website? And
mm,
so you must make sure you do more than just build the initial idea. The second marketing myth is, if you launch it, they'd support you. Now, this is a classic. People often start a business, tell their friends and family, and their friends and family say, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, we'll support you. No problem. Brilliant, Al. Go for it. You do it. And then you launch the business and you tell all your friends and family, and nobody supports you. And the
mm,
reason is not because they don't like you. They're your friends, they're your family. Of course they like you. The reason is, the reason they don't support you when you need them to is not because they didn't want to. They're busy. They have their own lives, their own challenges. And
mm,
let's face it, we all get easily distracted. So don't
mm,
rely on 100% support from everyone in your circle, because it's not going to work that way. And you will
mm,
just feel let down, but it's not personal. So you need to remind and you need to tell people regularly. People don't see most of what you publish, most of what you say, most of what you post. People don't see most of it. And so I remember I ran a survey once for a startup I was launching. And after 2 weeks, I'd been sharing it on Facebook loads, YP. And after 2 weeks, I said to my wife, you haven't taken the survey. And she said, what survey? So even my wife, after 2 weeks, hadn't seen everything I'd put on Facebook.
yeah,
Hadn't seen it.
okay.
Even my wife. So if you launch it, they might not support you. And the third marketing myth or lie is, you just need to sell more and harder. Marketing comes before sales for a reason. Marketing comes before sales for a reason, not just in life, not just in the dictionary. It's there first for a reason, because selling gets easier with great marketing behind it. In fact, with great marketing, sales can become so easy, you will have the happiest sales team in the world, because all they will be doing is closing deals all day. If you don't have marketing, your sales team are going to have to originate every new customer themselves. And sales doesn't want to do that. Sales wants to make the easiest possible way to get business into the organization. So give your sales team a chance. Don't sell more and harder. Build the marketing plan and strategy that's going to make sales easier. So they have to do even less work to make the business even more money. And
So
don't forget to deliver as well. You must deliver to the marketing promise, you know.
So, El, you're making a difference between marketing and sales, and I think in the market out there, a lot of people confuse the two. So
Yeah.
maybe just a marketing and sales, 101. What's the difference between the two, and what's the focus of each of those elements?
Fantastic question. So there are two engines that drive your business. The first engine that drives your business is the conversation engine. That's marketing. It starts conversations with people. It allows people to move towards you, to signal and wave at you that they're interested, that you're relevant. Maybe they sign up for an email or a webinar or a scorecard or a challenge or whatever. The conversation engine is vital, because if there is no conversation engine, then there cannot be the second engine, which is the conversion engine. This is the sales engine. So if you do not have any conversations, you will only have no conversions. If you have, you cannot ever close a deal, win a client without a conversation first. And so conversation is marketing and conversion is sales, and you need both. You must have both. If you have great conversation but no conversion, you will make no money. You know.
Yeah, true. Thanks. That's a interesting way of sharing the difference between the two, and I love that analogy of conversations. Yeah, good. So the next thing I'm gonna ask you is that do you need to have a huge budget for marketing?
No, not at all. You don't need any budget.
No budget at all?
Well, sometimes you need some time, but you don't necessarily need to spend any money. But time is money, so you need some time budget because it's impossible to do it without time. But you don't need any money. You can be, if Seth Godin, the famous author of The Purple Cow, a very famous marketing book. He said, if you haven't read The Purple Cow, I recommend it to anyone watching this.
I've got a copy of that.
I'm sure, I imagine, I'm sure, I didn't doubt for a minute you wouldn't have read it. But if anyone out there hasn't read it, I would recommend it. Because what Seth Godin says is, if you build in remarkability to your business from the beginning, if your business is as remarkable as a purple cow would be on the highway, then everyone will talk about it. And you don't even need to spend the money. You just need to be original, authentic, real, and valuable to people. How many times do all of us share websites, good ideas, interesting businesses with people? We're not being paid to do it most of the time, and that's because it's a remarkable product or a remarkable service that means people will talk about it. So the most important thing you can do if you want to spend very little in marketing is give people something remarkable to talk about. And that's the easiest way to build marketing for very little. Obviously, if you have time and money budget, you can do even more. But just because you spend lots of time on marketing doesn't mean it will succeed. And just because you spend lots of money doesn't mean it will succeed everywhere. So money, is not the solution. Remarkability, the right marketing is the solution.
Can you share some examples? Because you've always been known as the person that thinks out of the box. You come up with innovative ideas. Can you share a few ideas that our listeners can use or apply? Simple to apply in your marketing efforts. Yeah, to be remarkable. Yeah,
sure, absolutely. So I had a client who was a construction project manager, and we built them a remarkable brand. So what we did was, to build the remarkable brand, we went and worked with them and developed their story. And what we uncovered about this construction project management business was that it was a real passion of theirs to prevent people, whether it was the architect, the builder, or the surveyor, it was a real passion of theirs to prevent those people having a bad experience. It wasn't even about making or losing money. It was about the experience. So the first thing people can do is really tap into the emotion that's at work in the transaction, whether you sell a product or a service. What emotions are in play? What pain are you solving? Not business pain. What human pain? What human need are you addressing? So that's the first thing. And as a result, we built him a fantastic brand, and he's committed to his marketing beyond just building the brand and web and email and everything else. And 6 months in, he now has a very strong pipeline, very strong in under 6 months. Another example is a creative agency we worked with. We encouraged them to become what we call a conversation master. Because if your conversation engine is going to succeed, you must be very good at conversation. And so he became a conversation master. He listened to his marketplace, and he learned that nobody knew how to use Canva. So he ran courses on how to use Canva. It attracted a lot of people to his business. He helped his clients. He listened to his clients, and he understood the conversation and that they needed retained services. So that allowed him to build a retained services part of his business even quicker. And ultimately that created, by becoming a conversation master, by listening to the marketplace, he created buzz, he created buy-in. And ultimately, when you have buzz and buy-in, you will create business every time. And the last one, I'll give you one last example. Another client, a law firm, senior partner, the managing partner of a law firm in the UK, quite a good sized law firm, had posted some fantastic content on Twitter, and the content on Twitter had done very well, got lots of retweets and shares. And so my client said, "What should I do? This is it's blowing up on Twitter." So I told him to turn it into an ebook, to publish the book on Amazon. And within a week, he was a bestseller in the legal category on Amazon in the UK.
Okay.
And the reward and value of that, of understanding, as Gary Vaynerchuk always says, ask the question, what else can I do with this content? What else can I do with this content? So 3 tips for you there. Build the brand from the deepest emotional place. Listen to the conversation and be a part of the conversation. Be a conversation master. And last but not least, what else can I do with this content? How else can I repurpose this or amplify it? What can I create? Does that help?
Yeah, yep. And I like the word about, how can I amplify the content? Yeah, I know Gary V. Okay,
Yeah.
it sounds like I'm on first name with him, right? Yeah, he's really good at repurposing his content. Yeah,
he's the master. I mean, he's the king of repurposing. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Al, how? Okay, let me phrase it correctly. You shared many of the ideas. Do you have a checklist or a way of people to say, hey, do I have, am I doing this? Am I doing that? For a novice, you may not know what to look into.
I do, absolutely. I absolutely do. I have a marketing mastery scorecard, and we can share the link. It's free. It's 20 questions, and it will show you exactly where you are, what's lacking, what you haven't got. We can post it in here or wherever you want, YP. But
I'll put it onto the thing, and I tell you what, let me just add it into the comments so that people can get
perfect. Yes, and it's free. It'll take 2 to 3 minutes, and if you take the scorecard, and it will then give you the chance to WhatsApp me. If you WhatsApp me, I will look at your scorecard personally, and I will voice note you on WhatsApp and tell you the biggest quick win for you. I will look at where you are. I will tell you where you are stuck for free, and I will tell you how to solve it as well.
Okay, so give me a second. I'm just gonna try to capture this out.
No worries.
And then I'm gonna. So technology is amazing, isn't it? We can do.
It is unbelievable.
Just as I was saying it, it's not allowing me to post it onto the comments. Yeah. Let me try again. If not, I just have a look at the.
I've got it here as well, so I can post it in if you wish. So
yeah. Can you paste it in the comments? Yeah,
there you go. There you go. I don't know. Well, that's gone in the private chat.
Yeah. Go into the comments. Yeah.
Let me see. No, I think we can only do it on StreamYard when it's live. It won't let me do it now. So
okay.
But we'll post it in the comments when it goes live.
Yep. We'll do that. Yeah. And so anyway, I'm going to put it back on the screen. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, as you're looking into this, it is on your screen now. Just take your camera out as usual. Take a picture of it. These are quite easy words to type out, and then you can have it in your and go to the 20 questions, right? Okay.
Yeah, I hope it helps.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I can't wait to do it, and I can't wait to have Al WhatsApp me and telling me which areas I need to improve on. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep. So as we are coming up to the half-hour mark, Al, I'm just going to ask you, what is your final tip or advice, for our listeners here, about trying to do business now in the new economy or the post-pandemic economy?
Yeah, cool. I think my advice would be that you must be more positive than ever. The first thing is be more positive than ever. Nobody ever solved a problem through anxiety, fear, and worrying. You're allowed absolutely to have anxiety, to be fearful, and to worry. But know this: you will not solve the problem in that place. You must come out. You must come out of that place and give yourself a chance to solve the challenge you have. And by the way, everyone watching this has survived 100% of their worst days in life and in business. And so statistically, everyone watching this, the numbers don't lie. You are going to survive whatever challenge is put in front of you. You've just got to keep going. So be more positive than ever. Be more engaged in your marketplace and the problems that your audience are feeling more than ever. Serve your marketplace more than ever. And whilst many of your competitors will focus on lack, focus on abundance. Focus on how you can bring solutions, and I'm sure it will work. That's what I do. So I hope it works for all of you.
Thank you so much, El. My biggest takeaway from today's sharing from you is that look at how you can create or give more value to your customers or to your clients. I think that's an amazing thing. Too many people are just looking at the profit, the bottom line, and especially in the current situation, where it is seen that business is tougher, so people tend to hold back rather than give more. And I like your idea that when you're giving more than your competitors, you're going to be shining up. You're going to stand out, as somebody who is a bit more secure, a bit more giving, and a bit more confident as a business owner. I really love the idea, and I'm going to, totally, fully embrace that idea.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Thank you so much. Thanks for Al. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us for the last half hour, whether you're attending this live or listening to a recording of this, And my way of saying thank you, Al's way of saying thank you to you is to give you his marketing mastery, scorecard quiz, okay? And I'm going to say thank you to you by giving you a free book, okay? So I've actually written a book called 10 Proven Strategies to Work Less and More. Haha, I'm sure all of you want to work less and more. And it's available on Amazon.com, and it's also a bestseller. But I'm not asking you to go to Amazon to buy the book. What I want you to do is go to this link here. I've got an alternative version of this book that you can download for free, right? So get yourself a copy of this, 10 Proven Strategies. And I'll see you on the next episode. So the Ask YP Now live show is run every Thursday evening, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Singapore time. There's GMT +8. And if you're from other time zones, you just do your mathematics, you add, or you just minus, right? So see you all next week. Bye-bye.